Welcome to learnenglish.com. Today, I would like to talk to you about the usage of the past perfect continuous tense with objects in spoken British English. The past perfect continuous tense is a verb tense used to describe an ongoing action that started in the past, continued for some time, and was still happening before another past event. Now, let's take a look at how we can use the past perfect continuous tense with objects in our spoken English. Firstly, we use the past perfect continuous tense when we want to talk about an action that started in the past, continued for some time, and was still happening before another past event. For example, I had been waiting for the bus for half an hour when it finally arrived. Here, the action of waiting for the bus started in the past, continued for some time, and was still ongoing before the bus arrived. Secondly, when using the past perfect continuous tense with objects, we need to pay attention to the structure of the sentence. The structure is as follows. Subject plus had been plus verb plusing plus object. For example, she had been studying English for 2 hours when her friend called. Here, the subject is she, and the action is studying English. The past perfect continuous tense is formed by using had been followed by the verb study in the base form with ing and the object, English. Lastly, it's important to note that the past perfect continuous tense is often used to provide context or background information in storytelling or to explain the cause of a past event. It helps us establish a timeline and create a clear sequence of events. Let's look at another example. John had been working late every night, so he was exhausted. In this sentence, the action of working late is described using the past perfect continuous tense. It tells us that John had been working late before the time of being exhausted. To summarize, the past perfect continuous tense with objects in spoken British English is used to describe ongoing actions that started in the past, continued for some time, and were still happening before another past event. Remember the structure. Subject plus had been plus verb plusing plus object. I hope this brief lecture has given you a better understanding of how to use the past perfect continuous tense with objects in spoken British English. Practice using it in your conversations, and you'll become more comfortable incorporating it into your everyday speech. Let us make a few sentences and repeat with me. Positive sentences. 1. I had been working on my project for several hours before I finally finished it. 2. They had been studying English diligently before they took the proficiency test. 3. She had been practicing the piano every day for months, and it showed in her performance. 4. We had been waiting for the bus for over an hour when it finally arrived. 5. The children had been playing in the garden all afternoon, enjoying the sunshine. 6. He had been living in London for 5 years before he decided to move to Paris. 7. The company had been investing heavily in research and development to create innovative products. 8. The team had been practicing their routines tirelessly before the big competition. 9. Sarah had been learning to swim for months, and she finally felt confident enough to swim in the deep end. 10. My parents had been saving money for years, and they finally went on their dream vacation. Negative sentences. 1. She hadn't been studying for the exam, so it was no surprise that she failed. 2. They hadn't been exercising regularly, and as a result, they felt out of shape. 3. We hadn't been taking care of the garden, so it had become overgrown with weeds. 4. The company hadn't been investing in employee training, and morale was low. 5. He hadn't been paying attention during the lecture, so he missed important information. 6. The children hadn't been doing their homework, so their grades suffered. 7. Sarah hadn't been practicing the guitar, so she wasn't prepared for the recital. 8. They hadn't been saving money, so they couldn't afford to buy a new car. 9. The team hadn't been communicating effectively, which led to misunderstandings. 10. I hadn't been eating a balanced diet, so my health deteriorated. Interrogative sentences. 1. Had you been waiting for a long time before the train arrived? 2. Had they been living in this neighborhood for many years before they moved? 3. Had she been working on the project all night before she submitted it? 4. Had the children been playing outside for hours before it started raining? 5. Had the company been investing in renewable energy before the new regulations came into effect? 6. Had he been practicing the piano for a long time before he gave his concert? 7. Had you been studying Spanish for a while before you traveled to Spain? 8. Had the team been training hard before the coach decided to replace the captain? 9. Had Sarah been saving money for a trip before she changed her mind? 10. Had you been attending yoga classes regularly before you injured your back? Repeat with me. Positive sentences. 1. I had been working on my project for several hours before I finally finished it. 2. They had been studying English diligently before they took the proficiency test. 3. She had been practicing the piano every day for months, and it showed in her performance. 4. We had been waiting for the bus for over an hour when it finally arrived. 5. The children had been playing in the garden all afternoon, enjoying the sunshine. 6. He had been living in London for 5 years before he decided to move to Paris. 7. The company had been investing heavily in research and development to create innovative products. 8. The team had been practicing their routines tirelessly before the big competition. 9. Sarah had been learning to swim for months, and she finally felt confident enough to swim in the deep end. 10. My parents had been saving money for years, and they finally went on their dream vacation. Negative sentences. 1. She hadn't been studying for the exam, so it was no surprise that she failed. 2. They hadn't been exercising regularly, and as a result, they felt out of shape. 3. We hadn't been taking care of the garden, so it had become overgrown with weeds. 4. The company hadn't been investing in employee training, and morale was low. 5. He hadn't been paying attention during the lecture, so he missed important information. 6. The children hadn't been doing their homework, so their grades suffered. 7. Sarah hadn't been practicing the guitar, so she wasn't prepared for the recital. 8. They hadn't been saving money, so they couldn't afford to buy a new car. 9. The team hadn't been communicating effectively, which led to misunderstandings. 10. I hadn't been eating a balanced diet, so my health deteriorated. Interrogative sentences. 1. Had you been waiting for a long time before the train arrived? 2. Had they been living in this neighborhood for many years before they moved? 3. Had she been working on the project all night before she submitted it? 4. Had the children been playing outside for hours before it started raining? 5. Had the company been investing in renewable energy before the new regulations came into effect? 6. Had he been practicing the piano for a long time before he gave his concert? 7. Had you been studying Spanish for a while before you traveled to Spain? 8. Had the team been training hard before the coach decided to replace the captain? 9. Had Sarah been saving money for a trip before she changed her mind? 10. Had you been attending yoga classes regularly before you injured your back? Keep practicing, and soon enough, you'll be able to use past perfect continuous with ease and confidence. Remember, practice makes perfect. Thank you for your attention, and we wish you all the best in your language learning journey from learnenglish.com.